She was on a podcast by Mike Drop. He's a retired Navy SEAL. Mike Drop is the name of it. His name is Mike Ritlin, actually. And this was Friday. Hat tip Breitbart. Cut 11, go.
You say the media is mostly liberal. Do I agree with that? Does everyone listening agree with that? What's our position on that? I agree with you. It's true. Why? Why can I say that with certainty? Well, first of all, because I've been part of this for all my life. I'm 47 now, and I've been a journalist since I was 17. And the media everywhere is mostly liberal, not just in the U.S. But in this country, 85% of journalists are registered Democrats. So that's just a fact. Right? No one's registering Democrat when they're rarely a Republican. So the facts are on the side of what you just stated. Most journalists are left or liberal or Democrat or whatever word you want to give it. I always joke that the other 14% were too lazy to register. And there's maybe 1% that's on the right.
You know, she's been with CBS. She's been on 60 Minutes. She's extremely intelligent. Cut 12, go.
Visually, anyone who's ever been to Israel and been to the Wailing Wall has seen that the women have this tiny little spot in front of the wall to pray, and the rest of the wall is for the men. Mm-hmm. To me, that's a great representation of the American media, is that, you know, in this tiny little corner where the women pray, you've got Breitbart and Fox News and, a few others. And then from there on, you have CBS, ABC, NBC, Huffington Post, Politico, whatever, right? All of them. And that's a problem for me, because even if it was reversed, if it was, mostly, right on the right and a little bit, that would also be a problem for me. My experience has been that the more opinions you have, the more ways that you look at everything in life. Everything in life is complicated. Everything is gray, right? Nothing is black and white.
We're going to keep going. I want you to hear as much of this as possible. Cut 13, go.
It's got nothing to do with whether I like Trump or don't like Trump, right? Or whether I believe him or don't believe in him or identify with him, don't, whatever. I don't even want to have that conversation, because I approach that the same way I approach anything. I find that is not a popular way to work in the media today. Because although the media has historically always been left-leaning, we've abandoned our pretense, or at least the effort, to be objective today. The former executive editor of the New York Times has a book coming out, Jill Abramson, and she says we would do, dozens of stories about Trump every single day, and every single one of them was negative. She said, we have become the anti-Trump paper of record. Well, that's not our job. That's a political position. That means we've become political activists, in a sense, and some could argue propagandists, right? And there's some merit to that.
Yes, and I've been saying propagandists, that word, for a very, very long time. That's why I called them the Praetorian Guard. You can Google Praetorian Guard. You know what it means. They're protecting the left. They are the left. They're protecting big centralized government. That's what they become. The final clip we have, cut 14, go.
You know what? We have few conventions, if you like, because they're not really rules, but that you need at least two first-hand sources for something, right? Those things help keep you, keep your work to a certain standard. Those standards are out the window. I mean, you read one story after another or hear it, and it's all based on one anonymous administration official, a former administration official, right? I mean, that's not journalism, that's horse. Yeah. Sorry, that is absolute horse.
Yep, and yet it is a standard practice now of the press. Former administration officials, anonymous officials, one anonymous official, and they pick whomever they want in order to advance their agenda. This is particularly true of the New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, and the Washington Post. Particularly true of them. You can't tell the news side from the opinion side in any of those entities. You just can't. Because they're all one and the same.